Good morning, Miss Wells. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good. And you?
Good. We are still waiting for some people to log on, so we'll get started as soon as we can, okay?
Sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Good morning. Are you there, Mr. Fontenot? Still connecting to audio.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Doesn't look like my picture's coming up.
It does not.
Let's see here.
We can hear you very clearly, though, at least. So that is the most important thing.
At the bottom of the screen, there's a start video and a stop video. That's what I had to do to get my camera to engage. In the bottom left corner, next to your
I'm on my iPad.
Oh, okay.
Let's see here. Switch to speaker, live, mute, share, start video. There we go.
There you go. All right.
Amazing. I didn't hang up.
Okay.
Hope everybody's doing well.
Courtney, I'm not looking at my agenda. Which school are we looking at first? The Heart or the TRICARE?
Heart.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Sherry, I see where you filled in for James last meeting. So thank you for that. James and I were both out.
I attempted to fill in for both of
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Much
You're welcome.
appreciated.
It's been a long time since I've conducted a meeting, so it was interesting.
Sure,
But
we
we
made
made
it silk.
Yes, you did wonderful.
We made it through. It was
You
great.
did.
Good.
Yeah.
That was one of the most nervous I've been in a while because I was in DC for a SHIELD conference. So I was streaming from the hotel room and we had people here in case something went wrong and Sherry had stepped in. We were on plans, I don't know, D through E, it felt like.
Exactly. But we made it. We got through it. So
We did.
Great.
I know Dr. Adams, Jason, that was one of the one that was doing the laser treatment thing. I actually know Dr. Adams, so he was vision. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Really nice guy. I was glad we was able to take care of that for him. Yeah.
Good morning, Miss Cage. How are you?
Good morning. How's it going? I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Morning.
And then
We are still waiting on one or two more commission members, and then we will be able to get started.
Awesome. Okay.
Okay.
so did everyone have good holidays?
Holidays were great.
Great.
Yes, absolutely. I'm going to step out and get some water. I'll be right back.
Morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Amanda.
Morning.
morning, Jada.
Morning. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Hey, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
So, Mr. Doris did say that he was going to be here today. So if we want to wait a couple more minutes before him, and if he does not pop on, we can go ahead and get started, I think.
Looks like I'm there. Yep. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Doris.
Not a problem. You should be good to go now.
All right. I see everyone that I was expecting to see. So, Mr. Fontenot, if you would like to take it away, feel free.
Okay, great. Welcome, everybody. Hope everybody's holidays were well and families are healthy and well. Before we start, I'd like to read a statement that just to cover a few important points, given that we're holding this virtual. As always, our meeting is being streamed online, so please be mindful of that. You are each asked to keep yourselves on mute during the meeting. Please physically raise your hand or have yourself recognized if you would like to speak. Give yourself a few minutes to unmute the phone and let it be active. Once you have made your comments, please go back to mute to avoid background noise. If you have any trouble with your technology at any point, you should have Tony's phone number on the first page of the agenda that was sent to you. Please give him a call. For each voting item, we will ask for all in favor and then all opposed. Please unmute and be prepared to state aye in either support or opposition. If there's any opposition, we will conduct a roll call vote for the item. Pursuant to the notice and instructions for this virtual meeting that were posted along with the agenda, the commission identified 3 ways to submit public comment of any of the items being considered today. The first 2 methods were via email at the address provided or by comment card at the web address provided. Comments submitted during either of these 2 methods were due by 5 p.m. yesterday. The commission did not receive any written comments. The commission is also prepared to receive public comment by phone or email today during this meeting. The conference telephone number to call is 877-848-7030. Again, that's 877-848-7030. The participant PIN number is 339-6187. Again, the PIN number is 339-6187. Public comments can also be emailed to prop.schools@laregents.edu. That's PROP period SCHOOLS at LAREGENTS period EDU. Any public comments received will be read during the meeting by the staff. You'll need to provide your name, the agenda item, and your general comment. Public comments are limited to 3 minutes per comment. We will ask for public comments after each agenda item. Thank you. Okay, I'd like to formally call to order and start with roll call, please.
Okay. Melanie Amrine,
Here.
Chris Broadwater, Sherry Despino,
Here.
James Doris,
He's on mute.
yes, I see.
Here.
Thank you, Mr. Doris. James Fontenot,
Okay.
Here.
Jada Lewis,
Here.
Carmen Millian,
Here.
Randy Plaisance, Mary Lou Potter. All right, Mr. Chair, we have a quorum.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that, Melanie. Our next item is the election of officers. I'd like to open the floor for nominations for chair.
May I be recognized, Mr. Chairman?
Yes. Melanie?
How do you feel about continuing with your chairmanship? You always do such an outstanding job.
Well, I appreciate that. Being that I only have to do it 6 times a year, and sometimes I skip out, so that shortens it. But I appreciate it. I'd be more than happy to continue. But I also let it be known that if someone else would like to take the helm, I have no problem with passing the gavel, and it would not hurt my feelings at all if somebody else would like to chair.
Well, I'm very comfortable with you remaining as chair, but I will open it up to ask the floor if anyone else wants to be considered.
I would also like to vote for James. I agree. After doing it myself, I completely agree.
Well, thank you. Do we have any other nominations? No? Any opposition to me continuing as chair? So with that, all in favor?
I
Do roll call or just aye?
Aye.
Just aye is fine.
Aye.
Any opposition? Thank you. Okay, I'll continue as chair. I guess we need to also elect a vice chair.
Correct.
I'd like to nominate Melanie. You've done such an outstanding job as vice chair. It's my backup.
I'll second that.
Again, if anyone else would like to volunteer, that would be fine. Jada, do you want to volunteer to be vice chair? No.
I believe that's a
Next
no.
year. Next. Give me
Well,
one
we
for a
we
year.
have a nomination for Melanie.
Okay.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposition? Congratulations on your next term, Melanie.
Okay.
Okay, I guess that's the only 2 officers we have to elect. Is that correct?
That
Courtney?
is correct.
Okay. The next item is the approval of the minutes of the previous meeting. You should have received them in the email with the agenda. With the outstanding job that Sherry did. Looks like it all came out properly.
I'll make a motion to approve those minutes.
We have a motion by Sherry. Any seconds?
I'll
I'll
second.
second.
We have a second by either Jada or Melanie, I think both.
Mhm. Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? There's no opposition. Okay, our initial license, apparently we have 2 new licenses. Is that correct, Courtney?
That is correct. And Megan Johnson is going to introduce our first school.
Wonderful.
Good morning. I'd like to present to the commission the application for the Heart Academy located in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. The school will offer 1 program, certified nurse aide, at 80 clock hours for 5 weeks. Representing the Heart Academy today is the owner, Ms. Marsha Ray Cage. Staff have reviewed all application materials and find that they meet qualifications for a complete application and have provided commission members with copies of application materials. The floor is now open for any questions commission members have of the school representatives.
Or Melanie, go ahead.
Thank you. Good morning, Ms. Cage. Glad you could join us. I had a few questions. First of all, I noticed that your tuition is on the lower end, which is great for students. Just want to make sure that that will be sufficient for you to acquire all of the equipment that you have on your list and sort of what your plan is for equipment acquisition as you move forward.
Hey, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I intentionally put it on the lower end because my target demographic is women between 18 and 25, pretty much in the underserved area. So I wanted to make it affordable. As far as the equipment, I have the majority of the equipment already. Just being a nurse, a lot of things was donated when a lot of my coworkers and patients as well found out that I was opening a school. So I have a storage and an attic full of equipment, some of which I probably won't need, but yeah, I put on the lower end for a reason. Not saying that it won't increase later on down the line, but I did want to make it affordable for my target demographic.
But you feel like you'll be able to cover your cost?
Yeah, I will.
That.
I do.
Okay. And I know you were the only instructor listed, and you said you planned on hiring maybe 3 more?
Yeah, I do want to start out part-time just to kind of get a feel for, I guess, the census and the number of students that I'll start off with, and then go from there. Like I'll hire from there. I just kind of want to start off low and slow.
Okay, so even though your maximum class is 20, I think you said 23 students, you probably won't start with 23?
Probably not. I would prefer smaller class sizes. Again, just doing research on the target demographic that I have. Smaller class sizes would do well with them. Also, I think it was 1 to 23 was the ratio for in classroom, 1 to 10 for clinical. Right. So I think I'll be able to do that, but I'm sure I won't be able to. I'm not going to start with 23. I feel like that's a bit much. Mm-hmm. Especially with everything going on with COVID, I kind of want to be able to spread out, not be as close, not be as congested. And again, low and slow, kind of take it one step at a time and grow as needed.
Okay. And why don't you just give the commission a little background on yourself as far as why this is important to you and why you want to open a school at this point?
Well, I've been a nurse for 17 years now. Worked everywhere from long-term care, skilled rehab, labor and delivery, you name it, I've worked it. Currently I'm on a contract now with Ochsner, trying to alleviate some of the stress with COVID and the admissions that we have. But what really pushed me to want to open my own school as director of nursing at a skilled and rehab facility here locally in Baton Rouge, a lot of the incidents, accidents, complaints, a lot of it started from just basic foundation things that were not being done. I had to do a lot of educating, a lot of teaching, a lot of in-services to not only the CNAs, but nurses as well. But with the CNAs, I noticed that a lot of things that I felt was basic foundation that I'm not even sure how they got out of school without knowing how to do. They got out of school without knowing how to do. And so I always thought, and I joked about it at first, and I was like, you know what, as much as I have to in-service and teach y'all, I might as well just open my own school. And the joke just kind of snowballed and came into fruition. That's pretty much the background of it. And then I noticed a lot of them really I don't know if it's just burnout or what, but it didn't show like a lot of compassion. And I want to take it back, like back old school in the beginning, where, you know, we had a lot of compassion and you actually enjoyed what you did. So that's kind of where that started.
Jada, I noticed you had raised your hand. You had a question. Did she answer your question?
Yeah, Melanie, she asked the majority of my questions, but I can honestly agree with you, Ms. Cage. My mother just was recently released from a skilled rehab facility, and we did have some challenges with one of her CNAs. And so I can definitely personally agree with the statement that you've just made, and, you know, excited that somebody's taking on that challenge, because that position is really a thankless job, but so critical to families, you know, like mine, you know, with family members in those types of facilities and situations. So thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I have a couple questions.
Okay, Sharon.
Ms. Cage, one of the things that we're always concerned about is are you planning on working? Are you just going to do this full time? I mean, have you considered all the financial challenges that you'll be facing? I mean, what if you only get 2 or 3 students? How will you do that?
I have and I did. I don't have a lot of overhead to start with. As far as equipment and things are concerned, I've already obtained a lot of that. Supplies, I already have a lot of that. This has been a year in the making, so I've been kind of stockpiling, to be honest with you.
Okay. Well, like I said, I
with you.
don't want to set you up to fail, so we just always like to ask a few questions. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Indeed. I understand. Also, like I said, this went from a joke to this has to happen. Like, has to happen. And so, I mean, I'm sure I don't have to mention anything about COVID, but it's been such a high demand thus far. Like, even at the job where I am now, some of us nurses are CNAs. So tonight I might function as a CNA because we are that short. So anything that I can do to assist with that, I would love to do that.
Will you still be working also?
Part-time. I'm on a contract right now. My contract ends February the 27th. So I guess just depending on what happens with this, then I'll figure out from that far.
Yeah, where will you find your students?
Honestly, a lot of students have been calling me already. I've been getting phone calls. I've gotten 3 this past week alone. And I think it's because some of the other schools that were offering the CNA program aren't offering it anymore.
Okay.
So yeah, I've been receiving phone calls, but as far as marketing, social media, kind of pounding the pavement, reaching out to some of my community partners that I'm have built relationships with from over the years, that type of stuff.
Okay, I have 2 quick more questions. What about your curriculum? How did you decide on the curriculum for your students?
Kind of twofold. I kind of looked at what they were teaching, because back to what I was saying with the CNAs, that I'm not exactly sure what they were learning, but I kind of based it off what I saw a need for and what was required. And so I kind of looked in the 2 books that they had listed and saw what was required, and then kind of tweaked it to add what I felt like was a need.
And then they'll have to go take their CNA test after they go through your program?
Correct.
Okay. All right. That's good for me. Thank you.
Okay.
Just for the commission members' knowledge, since we also have a second CNA school, CNA programs are monitored by the Department of Health and Hospitals. So both Ms. Cage and Ms. Wells, their curriculum was already signed off on by DHH.
Thank you.
Do we have any other questions or comments?
I'll move to approve.
We have a motion for approval. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
And we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposition? I don't hear any opposition. I guess I should back up just briefly. Were there any comments brought in either by phone or email?
There are no public comments.
No public comments. Okay, it looks like we have all in favor of passing. So congratulations, Ms. Cage.
Yay.
And best of luck to you.
Thank you.
We need good
Absolutely.
schools.
Good luck.
Thank you, Ms. Cage. You can log off if you would like, and Megan will be in touch shortly about next steps.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
You. Okay, our next item is True Care Medical Training. Is that correct?
That is correct. True Care Medical Training Center will be located in Gonzales, Louisiana. Today, the school is represented by owner Takia Wells. She will also provide a certified nurse aide program for 80 clock hours, approximately 4 weeks. The application has met all legal and administrative requirements to be approved for initial license. And now we can open this up to the commission for any questions you have of Ms. Wells.
Do we have any questions or comments? I guess I'll start. Ms. Wells, could you just share with us a little bit about what motivated you to open your school and just kind of give us an overview of your story?
Sure. Good morning. I am Jaquia. I have been a registered nurse for 14 years. I am currently on a travel assignment in California. I've been traveling since 2018. Well, actually 2015, I take that back. My first travel assignment was in Wisconsin. So what motivated me was when I first became a nurse, I worked as a CNA. And so the nurses, they never had to tell me anything. I knew my job functions. I knew I wanted to take care of people like I would my family members. So when I started traveling, I noticed the culture was a little different in different states. There was a lot of education missing, a lot of deficits in knowledge. And so I wanted to open to the community of Ascension because there's no CNA schools. There's a lot of missing education. So to take it back, I'm piggybacking off of Marsha's, what she said that there's a knowledge deficit in the education. And so I want to take it back to when I was trained. I was trained by a CNA, an older CNA that was very knowledgeable, that was compassionate, that was caring. And I'm not seeing that anymore. Traveling in different states, there is no compassion, there is no care. I mean, they're leaving. And I know right now with COVID, there's a big shortage. So I just want to fill that gap. And I want to bring it back to when care was compassionate. I want people to be more compassionate about taking care of people, whether they have COVID or whether they're short. You still need to be compassionate with caring for people.
Thank you. Thank you. I will comment on your business plan. You put together a very comprehensive and thorough business plan that kind of gives a very good breakdown of your competition, and by appearance, it shows that you've done your homework and have a good understanding of what you're in for, what you're facing.
Yes, sir, I am.
Do we have any other comments or questions from anyone?
I have one.
Okay.
Jim, Mr. Doris?
Are you planning to continue your travel schedule while you're running the school?
No, I do not. I have been traveling for a while, so I have quite a bit of money saved for me to focus solely on my school. And I would get something PRN back at home in Louisiana if need be, but I have enough. I've been traveling for a while, enough to be able to run it, set aside, and focus solely on marketing and focusing on leveraging the school.
Very good. Thank you. I'd like to make a comment. Those hotel rooms get kind of lonely after a number of years, don't they?
It does. Well, I actually have an apartment in my apartment. My lease is up next month, so I'll be finished here at the end of this month. So I have been fortunate to be in an apartment and kind of, but it do still get lonely in the apartment.
I did it for a lot of years, so I know.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Melanie, yes, I saw you'd raised your hand. You had a question?
Yes, I saw that you had 2 other instructors listed on your business plan. So you have 2 others besides yourself committed. So with the 2 other instructors, are you planning on trying to open a full class as soon as the school is approved and opened? Or are you going to do like Marcia and do low, slow
Yeah.
at first?
Well, I want to try to take it more at a full speed because I have been getting a lot of phone calls as well. I do plan on doing 2 different, I'm gonna try to approach a day and evening because I realize that a lot of people are working and a lot of people do need to work. So I want them to have an option to do day or evening and just start and see how it goes from there, offering day or evening classes. So, and I'll hire each instructor part-time.
Okay. And how are you coming with your equipment acquisition?
I've been saving actually for a while. I have fully equipped my school on my own, so I don't have any overhead. I just been buying over the last years of working as a travel nurse. I just been purchasing and saving, and a lot of stuff also been donated to me by the hospitals I work at. They've been giving me, oh, we got a Hoyer lift we don't use anymore. Give it here. Like,
right.
yeah. So,
good. Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Sherry, did I see you raise your hand?
Yes, first I just want to commend you. I'm like Jada said earlier, I also have elderly parents, and we had some great CNAs, and then we had some that were not so great. And I completely agree. Sometimes that compassion level is just gone. So, I mean, it can almost make me cry because it really is really good to see people that really want to get back and get in the community and show people what compassion is all about again.
Yes.
I really do commend you for that.
Yes.
So thank you so much. Okay, so I'm actually an Ascension Parish resident, so I'm going, woo-hoo.
Oh, awesome. Because
So
we don't have any. And
I know.
The only one they have is Advanced Medical Institute, which is in Prairieville, and they haven't even been offering a CNA because of COVID, she said. Right. So the facilities around me, they like, they looking, they say the students have to go all the way to Baton Rouge or either to New Orleans to become certified.
So are you going to work more on the east side or the west side of the parish?
More, so I'm right on Burnside. So I'm like right in the middle of everything.
Okay, good. Okay. And I know you said you've had some students some people have been requiring about this. Mm-hmm. Are you doing social media? Are you reaching out to the schools, or what is
Yes. So I have actually a team of people putting together a web page for me as we speak. And they have also a very good marketing team. So I will reach them via social media. I have been reaching out to different schools, and even actually the facility where I'm contracted with, they have offered to pay for the students' tuition actually. And so they have people or students already that needs to be certified that just started working when COVID hit that didn't become certified. So they need to send them through a certification. So they want to, reached out to me for that.
Okay, that sounds great.
Yes.
And what's the payment plan? Will you give your students a payment plan, or how is that going to work out?
So yes, I have contacted a financing company, and so financing will be available and also a payment plan. If they need financing, I have a company that does the financing for CNA schools.
Okay, all right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, that's all my James.
Okay, do we have any other comments or questions?
I make a motion that we accept the application as presented.
We have a motion by Mr. Doris. Do I have a second?
I second it.
Second by Ms. Jada. Do we have any public comment?
There are no public comments.
No public comment. All in favor of recommendation for approval? Say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? There's no opposition, therefore it passes. Ms. Wells, congratulations, and thank you for your agreeing to try to educate our community and get people to work. We definitely need good nurses and aides for sure.
Thank you so much. Thank y'all so much for y'all time, and I'm so excited, and I want to get our community with some compassionate people. Thank y'all so much.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Good
Ms.
luck.
Wells.
Thank you.
I'll be in touch shortly with some next steps.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, next item on the agenda is the approval for renewal applications. They were included with the email for the agenda. I think starting on page 9 with Academy of Acadiana in Lake Charles through, let's see, page 10 with Unitech Training Academy in New Orleans. Any comments or any comments on these?
No comments.
We have a motion for approval.
Second.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion by Sherry and a second by Mr. Doris. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion passes. Renewals are all approved. Next is program updates. Well, I noticed that there was several non-renewals. There was 3 of them. Is that correct, Courtney?
That is correct. One of those schools, it was part of the group that is now licensed through NC Sarah. So they're just letting slowly all of their licenses lapse. Then the other 2 schools were unable to get complete renewal applications in. And so their licenses expired, and staff are working with them to obtain any student records or to start the renewal process to become licensed again if the owners would like to.
Okay. Does it look like they're either of the 2 will just go through the renewal process, get everything to you, or you think they just?
I think one of them might in this situation. We haven't heard a lot from the other one that we think would move forward again.
I see one of them that just opened or was approved in 20, and I guess with COVID, I'm sure starting a new school has to have a great deal of challenges.
Agree. And staff definitely feel like some of our schools, both that have been open for a while and some of the newer ones, are actually feeling the effects of COVID more this past 6 months or so than they were at the beginning of the pandemic. So we might see a few more closures than normal just because some schools are struggling, unfortunately, due to COVID.
Yeah, and I suspect as this continues on that we may, especially in student classes and learning, I'm sure that's having a big effect on them. So
exactly.
The next item is your program updates, starting on page 11. And I think this is just for our knowledge and review. I don't think we have to vote on this. Is that correct, Courtney?
That is correct. You will notice that there are quite a few. This is another change that we are seeing due to COVID. Many schools are adding new programs that they can do virtually or hybrid, or converting other programs to hybrid or virtual. So staff is having a large influx of program changes over the past few months, and we expect to see that continue.
Yeah, I see that about these hybrids and the online editions that,
Yes.
of course, I'm sure it's kind of difficult to put everything online for a truck driving academy. It's kind of hard to teach them how to drive a truck online.
That is true. That is true. That is one that it's more hybrid. But I recently spoke with someone out of state, one of the accrediting bodies, and they are saying that they're starting to see some 100% online welding programs. We haven't seen it here in Louisiana, but people are starting to put together more virtual labs to try and train people more safely in this COVID environment. So it will be interesting to see what other changes to education happen over the next few years.
Yeah, no, for sure. Okay. Is there any other business we need to discuss?
Well, I want to share that in between November and this meeting, longtime proprietary staff member Nancy Beal decided to retire. So we will miss her very much, but her position is posted and we are looking forward to filling it and moving forward. So,
Okay. We'll miss her.
Absolutely. But I know she's going to have a lot of fun traveling in her retirement, I believe. So sometimes I'm a little jealous, but that's the only staff updates I think I have, unless staff have any additional that I'm missing. Okay. Then I think for me, just a reminder, we're going to try again for in-person in March. We're going to hope that the spike levels off, and we'll be in the Claiborne building in room 153.
Okay. Anybody else have any comments or input? No? All right. Well, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
And everyone's help.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Bye, everybody.
March.
Good to
Stay
see you.
well.
All right,
Yes.
bye-bye.
Stay safe.
Y'all too.